I think that there's probably two important things that when you think about your relationship with your manager, and in terms of kind of both like the knowledge and the context that both of you have, right? And the first question I always, want people to reflect on is, do you believe that your manager knows what matters to you? And what matters to you, meaning, what your career goals are, what you think you're good at, what you think maybe you're not so good at, but you want to get better at. What are your hopes and dreams in 5 years? How you perceive your job or work in the context of the kind of life that you want to have, right? And I think if you can answer very honestly, like, yes, I think my manager really understands that. That's like, okay, you climbed kind of the first hill, and I think that's a really great start, right? But if you don't feel like your manager knows those things about you, then the next question to ask is, okay, well, how can I make my manager aware of those things? And sometimes, it can be scary, right, to kind of admit, again, your hopes and dreams to someone that, maybe you don't have that type of, very open and trusting relationship with. But I think it is still so important to be proactive in making sure that the other person knows that. And, the way you might do it is you might just say, hey, in our next one-on-one, like, do you mind if we talk a little bit more about, my career? I really want to share with you my goals and kind of how I see my role or my job or the next couple of years. And I really want to get your input and your feedback on how I can achieve those things, right? And, your manager, again, at the end of the day, is incentivized to help you succeed. Because if you succeed, that means the team is getting better off. That means they succeed. And so, just naturally in the alignment of things, like, they're much more on your side, right? Even if you not always, maybe you don't always feel that way, but they are better off if you are better off. And so, there's often a very good chance that if you bring up that as a query like that, they'll say of course, and they'll be there and they listen. And I think then, you can try and be as open as you can about, this is what I care about, this is what I want. If you're looking for a promotion and that's like really important to you and you want that in 6 months or a year, just say it. And I know that it was always hard for me to do that, because I sometimes felt that if I said that I wanted a promotion in a year, like, are they going to think that I don't care about anything else? Like, I'm just sort of like after the promotion. Or also maybe I didn't want to say it because what if it didn't happen, right? What if I didn't actually have the skills to get that promotion, and like now they're going to think I'm a failure because I wanted that and it wasn't, like who am I to kind of have that type of ambition? But if your manager doesn't know what you care about, like, how do you expect them help you find opportunities, or be able to, again, craft like, pick the right kinds of projects, or think about you when an opportunity comes up, and they're thinking about who on the team should do that, right? The more they understand your goals, the more that they can be an advocate, and they can have an eye out for opportunities and ways of supporting you towards your goals. So that's the first thing. That's like, does my manager know what I care about? I think the second thing is, do I know what my manager cares about? It's like, if they're going to stay up late at night thinking about something, worrying about something on the team, like, do you know what that is? And I think that the kinds of people who ends up, being a growing, or having great opportunities or getting promotions, are the ones who are kind of thinking a little bit, one or two levels ahead, right? Which is often putting yourselves in the shoes of, what is keeping your manager up at night? What is success for your manager? What should your team as a whole be thinking about or doing that would help, again, your group, your manager, and by extension, the company? And if you can often adopt the perspective of your manager and understanding kind of what success looks like, you will then have the window into, okay, wait, so that means if they really care about that, like, then this is a thing that's a problem, and let me go and proactively help with that, right? And if you do that, I guarantee you it's just much easier for a manager to see you as someone who's really critical to the team, as someone who is clearly maybe, is showing exhibiting a lot of leadership. So those are kind of the two important questions to make sure that you and your manager are aligned on.